I say spoke on is these fans and the loyalty of it.
Good ball movement by Kyshawn George. Xavier Tillman turns it over. Blau upstairs. George finishes on the alley-oop.
Tonight.
Jonas Valanciunas holds it high. 4 seconds on the shot. The ball is good by Kyshawn.
Putting on a display with his footwork, trying to get Sarr off balance.
Nice cut there by Kyshawn George off the inbounds feed from Wow,
Monday
coming
night.
up with the steal now. Got a little 2-on-1. Kyshawn, touch the rim, young fella. Kyshawn. Scoring as he got David Roddy on his hip.
By Sarr once again to get a piece of that.
Nice pick and roll. Good feed by Alex. Ball with the rebound. Kyshawn on a pull-up by George. I think he's got it. Timeout. Currently with the Heat G League team. Kyshawn driving to the basket.
Good move by Kyshawn George. You saw him earlier.
With the basketball, Blau. Nice dime. Finds Kyshawn. The Wizards are running. Eric Spoelstra wants to talk about it.
Our website that they can go to for more information.
Yes, absolutely. MedStarHealth.org/prevent cancer. People just need to know their family history and to get screened.
Part of the championship teams now coming off the bench in his 10th year. Kyshawn George slashing through. It's been the difference in that third quarter. Drew it 90 seconds left in the second. He was 1 for 5 as Kyshawn rings up a three.
And look, call for you cannot allow Kevon Looney to beat you in transition down the floor.
Kyshawn, triple is up.
If strings of defensive stops. It's always a 1 stop, 2 scores, 2 stops, 2 more scores.
Oh, off glass. Baker's hours. Look at the Warriors here trapping Hub. Kyshawn again for 3. Kyshawn George, 6 triple. This one.
Do it again.
Why not?
Oh,
He's
okay.
putting it on the deck.
Okay.
Getting creative in the lane.
Gave him to put hands up. I see you, George.
Into the game. In the league at 3-point percentage.
That means no shot blocking around the basket.
Deontay George deep. They do. Pocket pick. Koulibaly.
That number is the same amount.
Corner 3, and that's good from Kyshawn George. It's 8 points for the rookie. 3-point shot from the right side. That's good. Kyshawn George. Second 3. Harrington behind the back dribble. Aldwell Pope picked him up. 3-point shot. Good again. This time it doesn't go. George takes off the 3-point line this time. Scores again.
Look how quickly they are going. Good backup combo we have with Wendell being out.
Kyshawn George, nothing but net again.
Makes pretty good battles with one another when Houston played New Orleans. The Rockets would see, some size. They would struggle as the 3 goes there for
another
Washington.
3. Yep, gets turned over. Picked up by Carrington. Ahead to George. Pulls up. Quick 3. Good. His second triple.
Look at Aaron Holiday working George Poole, keeping the ball out of his hands.
And George knocks down the face-up. George slipping through. assists for him already.
George from 15. He's a good looking prospect too, Nick. 20-year-old rookie.
Especially when he's coming from behind.
George. Shot good. To share. The 250 to play the concession stands. There'll be no midnight. Volley on, nice pass. It's the lay-in. 3.8.
Is so important in these Emirates NBA Cup games. Kyshawn, corner, three, good.
Scoring 11. Into the corner. And George for three. And he hits the drive by Kisper. George inside, and he'll put it in. George off the screen. Walked in, up in the air. George for three.
Sorry, George makes a shot.
Hands it down to George.
Get it back. See if they want to run. That is a lopsided margin.
Fall away on the baseline by Kyshawn. Back into the Wizards locker room in that first quarter. Kyshawn in that dunker spot lays it in.
Hey, listen, at some point.
Air ball for Ajax. Off and running the Wizards. Kyshawn George barely got George is persistent.
Rebound. Robin, 2-on-1 with George. Kyshawn ducks it home.
George trying to get his legs.
And George straight away strokes over the lead. Start of the second quarter. Good close out there on Pittsburgh. George his second three. So watch it to continue. You can really take advantage of it when you got down that hard stop. You can go over the top. And another three for Washington. George with his
Kyshawn George trying his hand at a three-pointer.
Really good to see Kyshawn George.
Kyshawn trying to get downhill, spinning on Shannon. Good decision. Taking his time to score in the paint.
And this possession right here will probably show that and display that when he can facilitate and the play is not over, that he can also crash the glass.
27 overall. JV trailing, George. Range from three. Third triple of the night. Back to Alex. Kyshawn with a tap in.
That was crazy. Kyshawn George shot the first three.
Kick out. Rookie Kyshawn George touching net. Kyshawn's first. Driving and scoring. Kyshawn driving on Jim. Steps off. Lay in.
Listen, if it's about developing these young.
Kyshawn starting to get warm.
I saw the first one off a kid. It's a kid's movie, right? I'm too old to judge the movie with the blind, so I'm going against the Heat.
George on the flyby. Got Boston out of position and regains the advantage. It's Kisper though, gets him a second try. And Kyshawn George on the reverse, three-point game.
And it's an orthodox shooting release when you look at the rotation of the ball.
You see Kyshawn George getting downhill. Rebound for George.
Down for George, see if he can knock this one down.
And he does.
But how did he get that three?
Shangoon out to the 16th pick of OKC back in 21. Kyshawn George comes. Here is Kyshawn home. This is first Kyshawn to clean it up.
Over Valanciunas.
three.
That Indiana game, as the Bulls did, play a little bit better in the second half. George, that's got a nice shot. Very nice shot. Nice, solid shot.
He does. He can get to that
Lead at 21.
from the defense.
I like watching him shoot, man. That's a heck of a shot for George.
They need to find him some plays.
And look at that. Here's a turnover. Kyshawn on the rim.
Get it out the
Move it. Brian keep telling the team to move it. Passes out to Kyshawn in the corner.
teammates' handshakes, even when he's seen me, the retired ones. It's amazing.
I remember last year in LA, you guys did that handshake. It's just kind of like,
I thought he forgot about it.
shot clock at 3 for Valanciunas. Gives it to George. And the rookie tickles the twine.
Gas mask.
Said, I know I have active hands. I can get my hand on deflection. I can get to the passing lane. But it's me knowing when to.
Kick out, swing, Carrington. Back over to George. And it bounces. Little shooter's bounce for the rookie.
That's excellent help defense right there by Young.
Kyshawn in the corner. Third three. Ooh, Kyshawn, do it again. Why not, young fella? Why not?
A big payback.
Here in DC, we got 6 minutes to go. It's been all Phoenix Suns, but there's some really good moments. Now his 4th straight game, scoring 30 or more. George!
Great ball fake right there by Kyshawn.
Getting that steal. Here come the Wizards on the 3-on-1. George. Foul! Count it in the one. Passes over to Kisman. Curry inside on the driving kick. Kyshawn keeps 3. Oh, yeah!
Big time!
Big man normally finishes that. You love that take. Kyshawn George is about to get hot. That we saw in Washington. He hit 5 straight shots.
He did it to the Suns from here on out, and hopefully a return is near.
What's it been like for you since you've been out? How much film have you been watching, and what's it like to kind of watch in a different way, knowing you can't play and trying to apply that to?
That's something, right?
That's an accomplishment, man.
You're talking about an icon, and Allen Iverson. Quick with the hands. Wizards stay with it. George, man, he has a good shot.
You know, you look at his numbers. Yeah.
Valanciunas looking for somebody to dive, and that guy is Kyshawn George with Kuzma. At the defender, gave Vincent right on his hip. From the outside, George knocks it through.
George inside, lays it in. One of the toughest things out there. Rebound to Sarr. And he keeps it alive for the Wizards. Deep 3 for George. It's good.
George works the screen, leans inside. Finish there for the young man.
Patience and everything.
That out there. Very physical. George lets the 3-pointer fly. We saw them do this back in that 3rd quarter. He hit 3 straight threes. And with the long 3 is made by Kyshawn George.
Another good putter.
Nice pass to George.
Talking about buckling down on the defensive side. Kyshawn George for 3.
Hand-up action.
Bumble with the foul there. Kyshawn George, sidestep three. Money.
At Flint, Michigan, they've had some ballers over the years. That's the first shot attempt of the game for the rookie Kyshawn George. And George, a catch and shoot. Oh my, they don't normally shoot like this.
They're seeing that level of resiliency throughout, but it was about to finish and closing.
Three ball out and back in again. Getting the roll. Kick out George. Case teams that they deserve to be minutes in the NBA. Right now, Kyshawn George is making the most. Came in at 29.
That's when the fouls hit.
George off the drive. Quarter is true. Back in there. George on a reload. Reload. Hit the three. Kyshawn George. Iowa on the outside. Clock down to 8. George. Step away three. He's been playing all night.
Kyshawn, corner three. Yes. Kyshawn using his size. Scoring. Being out here, staying ready, and doing something in those minutes. Kyshawn in the corner. Down to ball. Kyshawn. Oh, kick out to Kyshawn. George again. Kyshawn.
Carrington. All about a three. Passes it over to George. Yes, sir. Kyshawn George. Coming back from that ankle injury, hitting his first shot.
2 minutes. 2 minutes to play the first quarter. 2 minutes. Trash too.
Kyshawn. Pump fake and convert. Kyshawn. Three's up, three's good. And rebound. Trying to push it downhill. Kicking it over to George. The ball movement. And it finishes with Kyshawn for his first free throw attempt of the night. Hey! Second quarter. Kyshawn coming back, getting it to the run. Kicking it out to Kyshawn. Yes, sir!
In transition,
George! Finger roll! Sar now spinning on Lopez and a kick out. Deep three. George!
That's a great sign.
Setting up on the right wing. George for three. It's good. That's Kyshawn George. Escapes into the lane. Three-point shot is good. That's a beautiful. George for three again. This one is good. Kyshawn George has
Knocking down about 3 of them tonight, so he's in that category of guys. Athletic. Something good.
George with a three with the feed from Holmes. Another timeout call. She's on the baseline. Hustling his way inside for the first field goal of the third quarter for the Wizards. Basketball. Kyshawn, deep three. Newman had 7 points, 13 rebounds, and 2 blocks.
National championship. Let's say him and Rashawn Holmes started together in Philly.
Three that goes up and three good.
Hornets on a 7-0 run. Kyshawn George. Hornets on an 8-0 run. Catch and shoot for George. bounce. Rim left and Koulibaly. George. Kyshawn George makes it a 6-point lead for Washington.
Years ago to the day, and the best rebounding game in Heat history against Washington. That's a three. Kyshawn. Wizards shooting 31% for the night. George dribbles. Kyshawn George with 6 points. George at 7 points. George coast to coast.
He's got some handles for a bigger guy.
Kyshawn George. Strong. Kyshawn George playing a very nice game tonight.
George rattles in the three. His 9th triple made quickly. Kyshawn, layup good.
Get downhill.
Kyshawn, nice left-hand finish with a contest.
No fouls for them in this quarter.
Oh, good relocation by George coming off that assist from Smarty. And Kyshawn with a steal. And flush. George now with a dozen. Washington has 6 steals to
By Corey Kispert there.
Kyshawn count it. And the foul. That's tonight. Wait, 11. Kyshawn now going for 3. Reward Kyshawn for the defense. Carrington with a great look.
Here's George. And George attacking.
Nice move that time. He got by
14-0 start and just held the lead throughout corner 3. Really? So a response from the district.
Has that as well, because he can be very, very special when he does have the consistency. A nice pull-up by George over Scotty Barnes right there in the pick.
And it's picked up by George. It was intended for Sarr. And George at the end of the buzzer able to knock it down. Kyshawn George, 31 for Sarr. Lead pass. George, the 3 is good. Again, we've talked so much about the East. Kispert cut off by Castleton. George with the 3. Good clean look. I really like George. I like his
spin in the lane.
And here is a swipe and a stuff for Kyshawn George. George was the 24th pick in the draft last June. Knicks took him, sent him on to Washington. So it's 6-4.
Pistons looking a little lethargic right now, George, to start this game. As we talked about by Sarr.
Hardaway Jr. bounces in front of JD. Lifts it up. No.
They got to fight the human tendency to get lethargic with a big lead and a team that struggles. Putting them away in the third quarter should be the order of the day.
Batted away in the lane. He tried to give it up. Kyshawn George off the glass on the other end for a score. Marcus Smart to Kyshawn George. George connects for 3. It up. Kispert to the lane. On top to Kyshawn George. Triple try, it's through for 3. Wizards, Middleton. Cross-court feed. Sarr thought about a 3, didn't take it, hands to Chris Middleton. George for 3. And that one's through. Where has he?
George. You're watching that rotation and you forget the guy that
Sarr has a quiet battle with the pivot. Range George. He knocks it in. These guys can hold. George for 3.
everybody plays Denver, makes threes, doesn't matter.
3 seconds remaining.
George got it.
Unbelievable.
It just Watson just was there.
Pull cross court here. Over to George for 3. He knocks it in. 10 seconds remaining.
It's his offense. I think he was deferring to Denny on that one. A mix-up. George the other way. And
into the lane for a bucket. Up two in the Blazers. George handles it. Bangs, sideways to side. Off the contact. He's got 8 points and 4 rebounds. 13-0 Blazer lead. George into the lane. Rolls one up and in. Blazers have picked up the defensive intensity. Yes. This third quarter. Yeah. George swoops in with a left hand. I mean, that's a terrific shot against good defense.
Tom Haberstroh, do you have more for us? Yeah, Lamar, when you look at the numbers.
Several great storylines to come out of this road trip. One up is that game right there. Kyshawn George continues in the last 3 minutes. Kyshawn able to go off the window to end that run. 15. It's his second three-pointer. Kyshawn with a couple head fakes.
They lead after the first quarter. The Knicks are 25-4 as George gets the first bucket when they trail after the first.
It's smart, dancing and prancing.
Nice feet inside. George with a pretty play.
Yeah, smart.
Oh,
come on, Knicks. Payne is in the Knicks keeping guys in front of them.
Kyshawn George goes to Mitchell Robinson. This three-pointer's good. That's only their second three. Foul on jumper, can't get it. Rebound George, lays it up and in.
George overwhelming.
Hands it off to George. He goes inside and draws the foul. But more importantly, get closer to home court advantage.
I mean, that's a big time play there. It's a
ran away from George, and he hits a three.
That's bad communication. Switch it on the side.
George ties it. He's hit some tough shots here.
That's his second already in the game. 6 or 7, 8-point lead. Kyshawn into the body of Walker.
I like that.
George with the basketball. Sarr setting the screen for him. Kyshawn off the window, gets the layup.
And that's how you really respond.
Here's where to get it. Either the defensive or offensive side of it. Kyshawn, this is scoring starting in the third. That go-go music playing in here for Washington on offense. It's Kyshawn.
The month of March was something to behold, and he was doing a lot of his damage to the paint as well. Nice finish by George. Should push the pace more. That's been a theme all year. George got it.
Yeah, they got to give on this kid.
Yep.
He's going to be a good player.
In February. George. Good, man. That's a smooth-looking shot for Kyshawn. Nationally televised game. Stacy, Casey, myself, as George hits a three, and the rest of our CHSN crew, we're doing
in the passing lane. Johnson on the give. Kyshawn George on the get and slam. His first half. Kyshawn George triples. 114 triples for him in his rookie year.